iQsmartparent is made possible by the Grable Foundation.
Kids in our region are now learning academic lessons in some very unexpected places. See how experts are teaming up with community partners to create public spaces with an educational twist. Plus, discover what it takes to build exciting learning ecosystems where you live. That's all coming up on this special edition of IQ Smart Parent, and it starts right now.
My kids would come in and start to get restless. They would start to play with the buggies, and the children are not allowed to play with those. They've even gone as far as to try to climb into the dryers, and it just starts to become a stressful situation for me. It's always a struggle to get them to just be still and behave.
Thanks to a clever community partnership, this laundromat is no longer simply a place where parents sort socks while bored kids get into mischief.
On behalf of all of the organizations here, I want to cordially welcome you to Wash and Learn.
Since 2007, a group called Libraries Without Borders has worked around the world to promote equitable access to education. In 2017, it started partnering with businesses in the United States to create Wash and Learn sites.
We're working in public parks, and then it started raining. We were working in hospitals, and folks were interested, but they were nervous and anxious, as anyone is in a hospital. And then finally we said, okay, let's try a laundromat. And we were really amazed at what we saw. First off, families are stuck here for about 2 hours a week. Second, people come back every single week. So it's an opportunity to build trust with families.
When my son sees me sorting clothes now, he's like, are we going to the laundromat?
It's an example of what education experts call placemaking, transforming everyday spaces by including elements that extend education into the public realm.
It's really about going where the families already are and reaching them in their space rather than bringing them to us. So it's really great when we can do this big, huge event in our studios at WQED, and it's beautiful, but that's not accessible to all families. So when we can provide these kinds of opportunities in communities, that's whenever the rubber really meets the road for us.
This is the second time that the Education Department from WQED Multimedia has participated in a Wash and Learn event. It's just one example of the station's larger effort to create what it calls learning ecosystems.
It's been a really exciting morning here today at the new Wash and Learn at the Olympia Laundromat. There's tons of kids inside, there's learning materials, there's letters, lots of things for literacy, great resources for parents.
Research shows children in Western countries only spend 20% of their waking hours in school. Learning ecosystems create more opportunities for kids to stay engaged outside the classroom.
You have this window of time. I think that through facilitated learning from the library and from our team at WQED, that parents will have the opportunity to really start to engage their children in ways that they haven't before.
It's very special to see what is really a public-private partnership. You have a business, a laundromat, and you have our work at Libraries Without Borders and the work of WQED and the library.
Partnerships like this serve an especially crucial function in underserved communities.
It's a great way to reach families who may not otherwise have the time or the money or even the awareness to get involved with some of our early childhood and health literacy programs. We found that children engage in 30 times more literacy activities in laundromats that had programming than those that didn't. And on top of that, I think most interesting, we found that families were coming back every week to the same laundromat because they valued the books and computers and programs that we had.
Research also showed Wash and Learn programs increase interactions between caregivers and children, accelerate rates of language acquisition in young kids, and promote family conversations about language, literacy, and STEM subjects.
And when we're coming together, it's a win-win.
In fact, when Libraries Without Borders first reached out to the owner of this laundromat, he joked that he thought it was a prank phone call.
Thought it was too good to be true. They offered us free tablets and furniture and books and all these things, and you can see what it turned into. It's been great working with them, and Allegheny County Library Association was a big part with the books and the setup as well.
I've been super excited about this process the whole way through. I have a teaching degree and we own laundromats, so this is the perfect combination of helping kids to increase literacy and have some fun while they're doing it in time that would otherwise be wasted.
Yesterday when we were putting some new things out and a little girl walked in and her face lit up, I thought this is why we're doing this.
You can crumble up tissue paper and make it like a 3D flower.
Learning ecosystems embrace a range of creative options, including helping young people learn through volunteerism.
Today, me and my sister, we decorated bags and then we put snacks in them for kids who need them.
It's called service learning. Kids use academic knowledge and skills to address a genuine community need.
Because we all need that feeling of being needed, being loved, being kind, that you are special.
Perhaps no one has been more successful at making people feel special than television's favorite neighbor, Fred Rogers. That's why WQED Multimedia, PNC Grow Up Great, and Fred Rogers Productions teamed up to promote volunteerism. The end result was Be My Neighbor Day, encouraging families to help their neighbors in need.
If you're ready for a story, clap your hands.
My favorite thing about Be My Neighbor Days is really seeing the families having such a wonderful time together. And you think they're having this great time while helping people in their community and doing these random acts of kindness. It's awesome to see the joy that's inspired in their lives.
Service learning projects allow students to develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills, improve collaboration and communication skills, and connect their volunteer experiences to academic subjects at school.
We are always looking for opportunities to volunteer as a family. My kids have grown up with Daniel Tiger, and I grew up, of course, with Mr. Rogers, and so we just think it's really important to give back, and we want our kids to learn that as soon as possible.
Because it's for the children who are at the hospital and the children at the library.
It could make a world of difference, not just in the life of the person that's getting the volunteer experience, but the person who is actually volunteering. When you make a difference in somebody's life, it really stays with you.
At the Zone 5 Pittsburgh Bureau of Police, neighbors are helping to clean vehicles used by emergency responders.
Y'all gotta get the wheels.
Listen, everyone grows up with Mr. Rogers. There's not a person in the area that doesn't remember him. So it's just great to see that his legacy is continuing on and people are coming out all over the city to give back.
Experts say connecting with community leaders through volunteerism can promote civic engagement. That's necessary for young people to learn about their rights and responsibilities as citizens. And it gives them a chance to participate in political, economic, and social conversations to help drive positive change.
I think the reason that Be My Neighbor Day is so important is that it really gets people to step outside their own little bubbles and see who their neighbors are, actually people they wouldn't think are their neighbors. I mean, we drive by this place all the time.
This homestead business is another location for Be My Neighbor Day volunteers.
This is Animal Lifeline Thrift Store. It's products for people, proceeds for pets. We're all making dog toys and dog beds. Those will all be used for our transport organization so that whenever we're transporting animals, they'll have something to snuggle with. It always makes them feel a little more comfortable.
Proceeds from sales in this store go right back into initiatives to help local animals And research shows young people are more likely to continue volunteering once they find opportunities that already relate to their personal passions.
And I don't know, my heart opened up and I thought, I can't not do something. And my husband was on the couch next to me. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm signing up for helping the animals. And he signed up right away.
To see all these people so excited to be helping out, it gives you a lot of faith in what our future generations will provide.
Learning ecosystems can also blur the line between entertainment and education. WQED Multimedia's Education Department has teamed up with PBS to provide schools with tools to teach 21st century skills.
Today, we're going to program the wild crabs.
Kelly Elementary has decided to expand upon their coding program using PBS Kids Scratch coding.
We used the clock already. We're going to use the grow one.
Each school receives PBS Kids Playtime Pads, and they are a kid-friendly alternative to technology, which is also inexpensive, so every kid is able to have a device to work on.
And that says start. So everybody touch that one time.
What's really great about the PBS Kids Scratch Junior app is that they can use characters from their favorite PBS shows and make them come alive and create their own stories with them.
My favorite part about the playtime pads is I get to use the characters and make them do fun things.
We put commands and we just went to an app. He told us to put the background and then put the animals, small, big, and we put the commands in.
What's really great about coding is that kids, they sort of just do it naturally. They tinker and they're not afraid of making mistakes. So the PBS Kids Scratch Junior app is really great in the way that the kids are able to explore.
They love it. You know, when they walk in, they see the iPad. Oh, the iPads, you know. And there's so much into math, the vocabulary, plus the programming and the coding. You know, it's a pretty good package.
Some teachers seek out training from WQED, so we do provide professional development on Scratch Junior.
Speed block right here.
They also receive curriculum binders, which take the teachers step by step through each process of using the app, as well as all the different functions that the coding app has.
When they leave first grade, they're pretty skilled at Scratch Junior, and that translates real quick over into the regular Scratch Juniors.
If teachers want to bring this program to their schools, I would suggest that they approach their administration to get approval first, and then feel free to contact WQED Education and we can work out a partnership through finding funding for your school, as well as looking ways to connect in other aspects as well.
WQED's education experts aren't just going out into the community. Sometimes the television station itself becomes a location that's part of a learning ecosystem. Students are invited into WQED's facilities to extend the learning and celebrate classroom successes, like this award ceremony for WQED's annual Writers Contest.
First grade, first place. The Secret Life of Greenwood Forest, Durham. Congratulations, Durham.
Another popular event is an initiative called Design Lives Here. The program starts in local schools and then culminates with a day-long event at WQED.
Design Lives Here is a middle school STEM project. It is for students grades 5th through 8th. They participate in engineering challenges at their schools. A kit is provided to them. An engineer is paired with the school as a mentor that goes to the school and helps with the activities.
More than 300 students and their mentors meet up at the WQED studios in Pittsburgh for the event. It's an energetic celebration of STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and math.
One of the projects that we're doing this year is called Thrill Ride. So the students are using various materials to create a roller coaster, and they have to have hills and valleys in their roller coaster to have the most points for their team to be the winning team for the day.
My favorite challenge today was the roller coaster, cause like we had to do a lot, but like it was stressful a little bit, but like at the same time it was fun, cause I like roller coasters in my like real life. So like I think like it was just fun actually designing one. I just like designing, cause like it just helps me think more and like just let me express myself in my work that I do with my partners.
The students experienced everything possible that was positive. I had children coming up to me and saying, I met students from other schools and learned about other schools, and learning to work with students they had never met before. That by the end of this afternoon, they were friends. They were talking to each other.
But this learning ecosystem wouldn't be possible without support from local businesses.
PPG Foundation has been sponsoring the Design Lives Here competition for a number of years now, and we are so excited to be a part of this program. It allows us to actually be a part of helping shape and educate the young minds of tomorrow. So to have these kids be able to come in and do these design challenges that allows them to be hands-on and creative and engaged in the projects, it's really exciting to see that and be a part of that.
We are a third-generation, family-owned and operated heavy civil construction company. One of our biggest challenges right now is finding talent. As a construction company, we think that STEM, Design Lives Here, is the building block of those future employees. We are sponsoring a school that's about 2 miles from our office. When I was approached to help support this program, it was very, very important to me to do something close to our office so that there was an immediate connection with our local community. And that's been the most rewarding part for me, trying to help my neighbor.
Like something supporting it there.
In addition to enriching students' academic knowledge, partners say the Design Lives Here program also introduces young people to possible career paths.
In MSA Safety, we've been a proud supporter of the Design Lives Here program almost since the program's inception. We chose to partner with Design Lives Here because we really see it as a win-win, both for the young students who participate in the program and also for MSA. MSA has been around in Pittsburgh for more than 100 years. Some people may think of it as kind of an old line manufacturing company, but it's really based on the products and the technology we're bringing to the safety market globally. It really is a technology company. And with Design Lives Here, it gives our engineers the opportunity to go into schools and really impart their knowledge and their passion for what we do, and hopefully in doing that, inspire some young minds to pursue a career in the STEM sciences. And if you take that one step further, if they do decide to pursue that career, hopefully they'll come back and work for MSA Safety one day and help us continue that mission of protecting people at work and allowing them to come home safely at the end of the day.
Yay! These interactions also help kids build crucial interpersonal skills.
The Engineer Society of Western Pennsylvania is proud to have been a founding partner, along with WQED, in bringing Design Lives Here to Western Pennsylvania. The members have provided countless hours of volunteerism, working alongside teachers and educators and right with students to coach and mentor the engineering principles that are behind Design Live Here activities. I think one of the most important benefits of the year-end festival was when students from different groups and different schools come together and they get to meet and mix with one another in teams that are formed here on the fly. And I think that gives an instant course on some of the soft skills that are so important in the workplace today. For example, leadership, who's going to help organize that group, and communication, getting all of the members of the team to contribute. Team building, having all of the members bring their skills to the activities that they're working on. And those soft skills are so important in the workplace today, especially in the engineering profession.
Go slow, 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's really what learning ecosystems are all about, helping children think, learn, and grow. Not just inside a schoolroom, but in all of the public spaces where they live.
It feels new, right? It feels exciting. It feels rejuvenated. I really think it's about taking advantage of these everyday moments that learning is everywhere, and just letting parents know that anywhere can be a learning time, anywhere can be a learning space. that they can take advantage of all of those opportunities throughout their day.
iQsmartparent is made possible by the Grable Foundation.